We have a specific event example here from one of the group members. Is the pricing on par with what she should be charging, or do we need to make changes to this pricing? This comes from Abby in the Facebook group. Says, quoting my first bigger event, 120 people for 4 hours. The venue already has a bar, so I don't need to bring mine. They're requesting beer, wine, 2 signature cocktails, and 2 bartenders. I'm quoting $21.28. I feel this is a bit steep. Here's the pricing breakdown. Service fee, $228. Signature services for $14 per person. Supplies, mixers, garnishes, etc. And the bartender pay is $500. What are your thoughts? Yeah, pricing is a touchy subject. It's always going to be talked about in our Facebook group. By the way, if you're not in that yet, go check it out. It's free. It's linked down below. But let's break down her pricing, talk about mine, and a few other options as well. Before we get into that, check out mobilebarhub.com. Ton of free resources, and check out the membership. We go deep into the sales and marketing, branding stuff that's going to help you close deals, help you price yourself out. The pricing here, it really depends on what your expenses are, not just for this specific event, but for your annual expenses and what your volume of events are going to be throughout the year. That's really important to keep your finger on the pulse of. For us, the big indicators with pricing for expenses is the alcohol cost. So how much is the hard alcohol? How much are the kegs going to be, et cetera, et cetera. But in terms of pricing, this is fine. I think this is solid. We're usually around $5 or $6 per head per hour. I think if you're around that $20 per head mark, you're golden. The only piece that I was thinking about is a big selling point for what we offer with our trailer and our mobile bar is the experience of not just the drinks, but the setup. And it's hard to put a price on that. But if we are just showing up to bartend, we've done it a couple of times. We don't love to do it because we love the being at home in our trailer. We do go a little bit lower in price because that's not really included, especially if it's just a couple of options for beer, wine, and signature drinks. So I think this is a great price if you're closing at this price. But there's 3 factors really why people are going to choose your mobile bar or mobile bartending service. It's not just the cost. I think the 3 factors are: what are your services? So what are you providing? Is it the signature drinks? Do you go over the top with the glassware or the tossware? Do you have amazing garnishes? Do you have bartenders that are flaring bottles? Do you have, again, are you smoking the drinks like you mentioned? And I see these discussions happening all the time and people giving feedback. No, this is what you should be charging without really knowing what the services are. Like, are you providing a photo booth? Do you have electricity? Whatever. There's a lot of different options there, but for just the bartending, this pricing is solid. But the second piece on why somebody's going to choose your mobile bar is the value of your costs and the value of your services. Where does it stack up with your competition? But what is the perception of what the value is going to be? At the end of the day, what people are paying for and what they're hoping for is this beautiful experience of great drinks and great garnishes and people just being happy holding those drinks and enjoying the whole experience. And if somebody believes that you can provide that outcome or provide a better outcome than your competition, they're going to be willing to pay more. And you see all the time people saying, hey, know your worth. You need to know that you're worth more of the X that you're charging. But if a homeless guy comes off the street tomorrow and starts a mobile bartending service and he just has red plastic cups and he's just handing out solo cups full of Old English, like, his time is not worth what another bartender's is if you were really going deep into the presentation of the drinks and paying attention to all the external factors of what makes this service valuable. It could also be the perception of who you are as a bartender. I've heard terrible stories of weddings hiring mobile bartenders where the lines were ridiculous. People went to the dinner after the ceremony without even getting a cocktail hour. That's all important. What is the perception of your value? And then the cost is the final factor. And if you are not giving a good perception of what your value is, and you don't have services that are more than just putting drinks into solo cups, that's where people are really going to focus on your costs, and they're going to battle back and try to get something for a lot cheaper if they don't feel like you stack up with the competition or what their perception of the outcome is at their event. So just some food for thought. I think this pricing is fine, especially if you close the event. But yeah, we will see you in the next podcast. Check out mobilebarhub.com for more free resources for starting and running your mobile bar.